All right, we're good. We're ready. Ladies and gentlemen, where does this market go now? Our prediction for the future. What are my thoughts on Netflix after what happened today? Our precise daily stock levels, our game plan and Forex, as well as our full stock analysis. I am Mark Melnick, and this is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. So many great things to talk about today, including where the market goes next. Were Netflix earnings really as garbage as I said they were? We'll go over that shortly. And we have so much more. But first, I would like to say thank you to the gatekeepers and unknown people who I have never met in my entire life over at the T3 Live compliance team. Kindly read this, and when you are done reading, pause it and then hit play. Thank you so much for reading that. I thank you very much. Let's get right into the market today and talk about what happened. So, a lot of you guys came out this morning, and you guys were really excited about the Netflix call I did because not only did I bash the crap out of Netflix yesterday on the Newsbeat show, saying rightfully so, in my opinion, that the earnings sucked really bad. But I also predicted that the analysts were going to do all these little micro upgrades on it, like $10 upgrades. Like, we're raising our target to 450 from 440. It's like, whoo, how brave. Somebody grab that analyst a Purple Heart, a Medal of Courage, an Amulet of Valor for such a bold call on a $300 name for raising the target. Ooh, what would we do without your beautiful insight, Captain Hindsight? Where would we be able to navigate these markets without your beautiful, beautiful words of wisdom? So, I said I would show it to you. I said I would basically show it to you on the 1 in 5 minutes. So, we'll start here. And I gave you guys a silly drawing the other day. And it was basically saying how I wanted a short Netflix if you get a 1 or 5 minute that looks like that. And we didn't really because the 5 minute went down, digested up, and then we were shorting. We were shorting over there under $370, and we wrote it and we caught some puts and did pretty well overall. But I was looking and I said, and I promised I'd show you the 1 minute as well from last night, and it ended up doing something like this, and then we ended up shorting here also through 372, and that was a really nice short that we caught in Netflix as well. But wow. So all the analysts, or the not all, just 95% of them came out and did these little micro upgrades on Netflix. I did come out and bash it, and Netflix ended up topping out right on my algo buster reversal line. Look at that. Extremely accurate level. And if you were in the room today after the second minute closed right here, the first thing I said is Netflix topped out here for the week. I still might be wrong. Who knows? But after the second minute, I'm like, Netflix is done. So a lot of you guys did much better than me. I was trading it through puts, was able to make money in it, and congratulations to all those who caught Netflix. Another nice thing we did is every night we give you algorithmic levels. So our algorithmic level from yesterday, I think, was one on Amazon resistance was $1,844.36. $1,844.36. The day high, $1,845. We were 64 cents off of Amazon. How about Google? Some one of you guys told me you caught Google today. Our support level on Google from last night, $1,113.97. Day low in Google today, $1,114. We're 3 cents off and calling the dead bottom in Google last night. But don't feel like you missed anything, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to give you tomorrow's levels tonight as well. just thought I would go over how a lot of these Newsbeat algo levels are working. So sticking with the agenda, we're going to focus on number one. Where does the market go today? Okay. So right now you're looking, if you're looking right now at the triple Qs, it's actually it was up before. Now it's actually showing down 12 cents, and the spiders are down 28 cents at the moment. That means nothing to me. Now, a lot of people were asking me, Mark, why do you think the market is bearish? Why do you think it's bearish? I think I'm just going to show you. Um, I know I have a lot of trend lines, but just without the moving averages or anything. And I want you guys to just focus on it from October 1st. That red bar that you see cut off right here on the far left is October 1st. That's October 1st in the Qs. Ladies and gentlemen, forget about what I think. When I'm giving you these algorithmic support levels and resistance levels, when you see Amazon, 64 cents off my level, or Google 3 pennies off my support level, it's not because I said it's going to stop there. It's because the robots are likely to flood orders at those levels. At my support levels, the robots, the black boxes, the 90%, 95% of the volume, depending on who you ask in the market, is being done at those levels. So when I look at this chart, and I say, and I'm going to just remove my mug for a second so you could see just the volume right here for a second. When I look at this chart and I'm like, guys, we're bearish, I know what a lot of people are automatically thinking. The perma bulls are not thinking of the actual technical formation. They're thinking the market sold off too much. We always go through all-time highs. There's no reason for us not to do it. I have a lot of domestic political thoughts on why this is happening. Nothing changed with the market for the negative. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So people stop and ask, if nothing changed, why are we selling off? You ever stop and think for a second and say, if nothing changed, why are we moving higher? Why shouldn't the Qs be at $200 right now as opposed to 150? And there is no reason. It has nothing. Don't give me the supply and demand BS. These are robot traders. Think about it like this. I want you to think about it like this. The market will always correct. We're going to have a bear market in our lives. Could anyone really disagree with that? Does anyone really disagree that we're not going to have any more bear markets in our life? No, I'm not calling this a bear market. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm generalizing. Does anybody really think that we're in a bear market, like that we're not going to have any more bear markets? What planet are you from? All right. I haven't been trading longer than all of you, and I've been trading longer than a lot of you. I've been trading since 1999, and there are people in my room with 3 times my experience. And I will tell you, as somebody who's trading just under 20 years, I will tell you that I have seen NASDAQ 1200 where nobody wanted to buy it, and I saw NASDAQ 5000 where everybody couldn't sell it quick enough, and everything in between. So the Qs to me, they do look like a bear flag rising wedge pattern. Every single time I see a pattern like this stretched out over 2.5, 3 weeks like this, I'm going to come to you and I'm going to say it's bearish. Now, Mark, okay, you're saying it's bearish. What could that potentially mean? Well, what it could potentially mean is that we're going to have a huge down move this week or next week. By latest Tuesday of next week. I'll put a date on it. Today's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. 4 trading days. 4 trading days. 4 trading days. We're going to have a significant down move in the Qs. If you remember, I was the same person who was telling you this on Tuesday, October 9th, on the Newsbeat show, that we're going to have a massive down move this week. And it happened the very next day where the Qs dropped 7 points off the high and closed extremely bearishly on Wednesday. This is the same person coming to you telling you this. Okay? we are going to have another major down move, and it's going to happen by Tuesday. Now, when I say that, the obvious thing that crosses most traders' minds are, well, why don't you buy lotto puts, Mark? Buy lotto puts, Mark. Why? Why? That's not me. That might be you. I try to offer enough value where I could cater somewhat to traders. The way I see it is if I give you one trade, even two trades in a year that really help set you up for what is precise for you, I added value to you. I'm also going to talk about something that's not on the agenda today, and I want to talk about actually one of the Newsbeat, the only Newsbeat bandit named today, AAL, but we're going to talk about that and more. But I do want to be very specific that I cannot take 100% of the ideas I talk about because when you're running a room with the number of people we have, I'm going over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of names. It's impossible for me to be in 300 positions, or even if it is possible, it's nothing I care to take on. So with that being said, for those who are shorter term macro view, short term macro, right? I think by between tomorrow, could happen tomorrow, could happen Friday, 4 trading days from now, within the next 4 trading days, we're going to have a massive down move in the Qs. What's massive? 250 plus is massive for me. I know you're a little bit spoiled because you saw bigger down moves recently. I consider a $2.50 drop in the Qs massive. Yeah, can it be more than that? Sure, much more. But I'm giving you a time, I'm giving you a prediction, I'm telling you when I think the market's going to drop. So, with that being said, take that for what it's worth, where I'm trying to explain to you where the market goes now. Already shared with you my Netflix thoughts. Congratulations. Got some a very interesting text here, and I don't want to curse, but I thought it was funny enough to say. Mark, you, and he typoed, Mark, you a effing, he spelled that word correctly, which is, he misspelled phenomenal. Genius. I saw your trade on Netflix last night on YouTube. So I got him so excited he cursed at me. With that being said, I thought Netflix was a wild name today, and was it playable? Sure. But at the same time, I think it's more important that we focus for tomorrow. So I want to actually give you guys a free lesson that's not on the agenda. It's not in the agenda, and it's going to talk about the importance of watching the market before you give a trade. So today on my Newsbeat live game plan for the one and done in high five, phenomenal, successful, consistent strategies, we had AAL. That's American Airlines. And I'm going to show you what happened on the one and done today on American Airlines. And so basically, this is what happened. The first thing that happened was it was the only name on my list. And for some reason, with the entire market plummeting, this stupid stock shot up $1. A dollar. Right off the open. Now, the one and done strategy says you have to wait for the first close of the 1 minute. You don't buy it off the open, so you had to ignore this whole green bar. Then the next thing I said is on minute 2, I was like, I don't know. I don't really want to buy it through 35.40. It digested. And then I was really considering buying it through 35.13. And then what happened here was it shot up to 35.29, gave you a 16-cent potential before crapping itself lower. Now on the high five, and I'm going to teach you something for every name after this. Stay tuned. I'm going to teach you something so important today. On the high five, you see right here, it fell, came here, and started setting up on the high five right over here where you could have bought it through 34.14. The stock went to 34.28, gave you a maximum potential of 14 cents. and then just started slowly digesting lower from there. In terms of me recording my consistency tracker, I consider both the one and done and high five a loss, and that's fine. I understand that there are over a dozen losses I've had in the past, and dozens, but it is still a phenomenally consistent strategy. But I think some of you guys might have been confused because I saw in the room I'm only going to buy things if Mark buys it from now on. And I really wanted to stop and explain to you why I didn't, because I call out my trades. Guys, I'm in AAL here if I bought it. Or guys, I'm looking for this to happen and I do or do not take it. I try to speak my thoughts and then if I hit it, I tell you. If I don't, I don't, right? I mean, I'm a human being. That's the best I could do in terms of transparency. But why didn't I buy it today? What was the reason? And this is going to change your trading in this market. And this is going to be probably one of the most valuable lessons I'll talk about. You see the triple Qs? This is what I track. You like to track the spiders? Um, Here, if you like to track the spiders, fine. Here are the spiders. But I like to track the Qs. I think they're much easier to track. Here, let me just go. So this was the triple Qs right over here. This was the start of the day off the gap up on the triple Qs. Now, I was watching these Qs and I saw double AL shoot up as we saw before. And this is a 1 minute chart. So, yes, the market is moving violently down. To me, this is violently down. I mean, in a matter of 9 minutes, the Qs went from 178.26 to 176.49. In 9 minutes, you drop, $1.80. Let's round it off to. Yeah, that's no, 176.49. Yeah, about $1.80. Sick, right? So what I'm doing is I'm stuck with one or two situations. I tell myself this. This is actually what went through my mind when I ignored AAL. I said to myself, I'm either going to try to call the bottom of the triple Qs or I'm not going to trade AAL because every single minute the Qs were making new lows. What do you mean every single minute? Every single minute, the prior low was breaking in the Qs. Low 177.85, 77.66, 59, 32, 27, 15, 11, breaks the whole number, goes down to 95, 49. And then right over here at 941, you turn around. And then you break up for the first minute bar on the Qs right here at 942. So 941 and 942, you start breaking up on the triple Qs. That's where you start breaking up on the triple Qs. So when I see AAL in the morning doing this, I'm obviously picking a name that's trying to remain strong, but the market is totally going against me. So how important is it for you to watch the market? Now, let me ask you guys, as a raise of hand, how many people on your softwares the default is set for 3 level 2 boxes next to each other? How many people have a default of that on their trading software where you have 3 level 2 boxes as a default for your trading software? How many people have that? No? Not you? Okay. All right. Well, it used to be a thing where, okay, that's good. A lot of them are different now. It used to be back in the days for before you customized your software that a lot of these softwares would have a default 3 level 2 layout. And I was one of the first people or part of the group of the first people out of Staten Island where the Soz Bandits came from. We were one of the first people who introduced that, and I was the pioneer for introducing that because I thought it was very important to be able to keep the Qs or spiders up at all times, the stock you're trading, followed by a stock that you're watching on the side. Staten Italy. It's pretty much that right now, Vincent, right? So what I do is when I trade, I basically, all right, Melnick Melnick coming. I'm going to show you something. And I'm going to show you something here. Okay. I know the screen is very bright. So pretty much at the bottom of my software, pretty much I have something that looks like this. And it's box one, it's box two, and it's box three. Pretty much what this does and why this might be important for you to implement in your strategy is that it's very important to watch the cues. So when I'm watching AAL, I never did this before. When I'm watching AAL, I'm watching it in box two. Right over here, I have the triple Qs. Right over here, I have something random. In this case, AAL calls, but it's completely random. It could be whatever I want. So basically, I don't even need to look at the chart of the queue. These are level 2 boxes, by the way. These are level 2 boxes. So what that means is I see the bid and offer on the side. So when I see the bid and offer moving right here on the queues and the bids on one side and bid offer, I'm basically watching the bid and offer like I'm basically watching them both go down tick by tick. So even for example, if the offer was at $150, I'm making the numbers up, and the bid was at $149.99, I could see it going down in front of my face as I'm making a decision to buy AAL. I am actually watching the triple Qs move in front of my face before I buy it. So as AAL was shooting up here really hard, I was watching the Qs go down. So it was very important for me because of what was happening right over here, because of what was happening over there in the Qs, I decided to ignore American Airlines for a long. Now, what does that mean? Mark, do we always have to ignore these one and dones and high fives unless the market is going up in my favor? No. In fact, the market can still go down and these one and dones and high fives will work. But for God's sake, when you see this shit happening in front of your face, for God's sake, stop being a cowboy trying to catch the bottom. It's not that the Qs were going down, it's that they were shitting themselves a brick constantly. Breaks a low on 1 minute, breaks a low, breaks a low, breaks a low, breaks a low. Do I care if the Qs went down? No, not really. Do I prefer it going up? Sure, why not? So it's not that the Qs went down that you have to ignore it. It's that the market was shitting a brick. And when the market shits a brick, you need to ignore it. Look, if the market was going down a little, I would have bought AAL. If the market was going sideways, I would have bought AAL. If the market was zigzagging like this, I would have bought AAL. If the market was going up sharp, I would have bought AAL. If the market was grinding up a little, I would have bought AAL. But there's one scenario where I don't buy AAL, and that's when the market does this. So it's not about, well, Mark, the market was ticking down a little and I decided not to buy it. Do you realize this strategy is consistent when the market's going up and down? Just don't have it go down like this. This is the exception to the rule. This is the exception to the rule. This is why we buy Netflix puts and we ignore the AAL today. I'll talk about the spider relativity and Q's relativity because everyone always asks that question, and I'll explain to you why it actually works also with the Q's. But with that being said, yeah, the spiders would be a better instrument. I'm using the Q's. With that being said, do you guys understand what I'm saying? Do you guys get it? I mean, say no and tell me what you don't understand because this is about the room. Tell me what you don't, tell me if you get completely what I'm saying. 9.5 out of 10 times, it's not even an issue. I don't care that the Qs were going down. But when the Qs keep dropping and you have a 41-cent range on the first bar, 25-cent range on the next bar, 22-cent range on the next bar, 36-cent range on the next bar. And these are 1 minute candles. Woo, 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 woo. Break the low, 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 and then turn around. Do you guys get that? Okay. We'll go over the spider Q correlation after the Newsbeat show, but I don't want to talk about it now. So that is the point I'm making. So when you trade, so how do you learn from this, Mark Melnick? How do you actually become a better trader? I don't care what you use, IWM, use diamonds, use whatever is relative for whatever or whatever you prefer. Generally you'll be okay. Generally you'll be okay. Yeah, like when I trade the banks, honestly, I use the Qs. And the Qs are 100 non-financial stocks, but I still use the Qs, and you know what? The spiders are more relative, and the Qs work perfectly for me. So, with that being said, precise daily stock levels. We were 3 cents off Google's low today. Google's low today was $1,114. We gave you $1,113.97. On Amazon, we were 60 cents, 64 cents off the day high today in Amazon. And those were levels given the night before. Here are tomorrow's levels today. Take a picture with your phone, print it out, print screen, screenshot it, dabble down. Maybe you don't give a you know what about any of the other names except for Facebook. Write down the Facebook levels, write down the Q levels, write down the spider levels. These levels don't always hit, they don't always work, but a lot of times they do. They do it often enough where you better leave them next to you. Also did some a new forex, a new forex today. My forex has been on a win streak, goes on win streak, lose streak, win streak, lose streak, win streak. I've been on a win streak. Does that mean I'm going to go on a lose streak now? I hope not. But right over here, I do make money overall in the forex markets. I'm actually down to like 59% consistency, which is, again, I'm not exactly proud of it, but I do make more money when I'm right than when I'm wrong. So that is one thing. There's some honest numbers for you. And I do share with you completely how it is. Right there, you have a sell on Aussie US dollar, a short. I'm trying to short it at 0.71393. If I get filled and I'm wrong, I'll get stopped out real tight over there. And if I get filled and if I'm right, I'll try to hit a take profit over there. And our game plan, don't hate the player, hate the market. Yeah, I'm talking about Yico. Mark, what the heck is that, Mark? I don't even want to tell you, but I will anyway. Yiko is Yulong, so it's probably a Chinese company that exploded through the ceiling today. This stock yesterday was $1.50. It hit $13.20 today. If there were options, 100% I would have played it. There weren't, so I ignored it. That ended up being not the best decision because it's up 40% after hours from the close, or $4 and change at the moment. I am giving you a trigger in Yiko of $14.85. I'm going to show you how I got that level. And then $14.85 in Yiko is denoted right over here by the third week of August 2016, and a break of 14.85 could get you 16 bucks, followed by 16.75 and then 19.75. So it's a nice enough trigger where I wanted to share it with you. Is it a psychotic name? Yeah. But that's what I'm currently watching. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into our full stock analysis. That is for Newsbeat Live members only. We're the largest, fastest growing trading room in the United States of America. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Newsbeat Live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.